If I had $1 for every bird furry YouTuber who talks about books, I'd have $2, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. The other one is named Cardinal West, who just had to one-up me by writing his own fucking book. Winter Without End by Casimir Lasky is a post-apocalyptic naturalist animal xenofiction adventure novel about a black Labrador retriever named Knight who is left behind after his family disappears without him at the beginning of an apocalyptic catastrophe that led humans to completely abandon their cities. Knight doesn't know why all the humans disappeared or why he was left behind, but even so, he loyally remains at his family's home waiting for their return, occasionally venturing out to feed himself on dead or dying animals. However, as winter becomes harsher and harsher, he meets an injured wolf he names Sierra, who informs him that all the wild animals remaining in the area are moving south to escape the oncoming snowstorms, and if he doesn't leave with them, he'll starve and/or freeze to death. Knight, however, doesn't have the experience or knowledge or skills necessary to survive in the wild by himself, so he strikes a deal with the wolf that if she teaches him how to survive in the wild, he'll help her hunt in order to give her injury time to recover. Sierra agrees, and the two set out on an adventure together. What follows is a rather harrowing series of vignettes told from the limited perspective of two animals who are constantly running up against the clocks of hunger and fatigue. Knight, being the civilized of the pair, finds it not only physically difficult but also philosophically difficult adjusting to his life in the wild, while Sierra has to balance her frustration with Knight's idealism against her instincts for survival at all costs, considering that she does actually need his help to stay alive and fed. Winter Without End is very intentionally a genre fiction, specifically for the niche genre of naturalist animal xenofiction, a subcategory of xenofiction that focuses specifically on realistic-ish animals in the real world. Long-time viewers of the channel might remember I briefly talked about this genre before in my video on Daniel P. Mannix, and if you want more coverage, you can also find a deep dive into the genre on the Cardinal West YouTube channel, which, fun fact, was one of the things that inspired my dive into Agodic literature last year. Lasky's book is very obviously heavily inspired by animal xenofiction generally, but appears to take the heaviest inspiration from The Plague Dogs by Richard Adams, author of Watership Down. So if you enjoyed either of those works sometime in the past, Winter Without End has a similar appeal. I've forayed into xenofiction several times over the years for short periods, not just of the naturalist animal variety, but also of the mythical animal variety as well. It's no secret that two of my favorite fantasy novels are Dragon Charm and The Last Unicorn, and I was also briefly a Redwall fan as a child. The flavor of animal xenofiction, at least to me, is something that always feels refreshing to come back to every once in a while. However, this is a niche genre, and if you're personally just not interested in animal xenofiction or you haven't enjoyed it in the past, Winter Without End is probably not going to be the book that sells you on the genre, but I do give this a strong recommendation to anyone who is interested in xenofiction or remembers having enjoyed xenofiction novels in the past. If the book sounds interesting to you, you can find where to purchase it online by following the links in the description. If you'd like to submit your thoughts and opinions on Winter Without End for the book club follow-up episode, then you can do so before July 10th, either by submitting a comment to this video or by sending me an email with the subject line Book Club Winter Without End. I'd also like to thank everyone who submitted their thoughts and opinions for the book club episode on The City and the City. When this video goes up, we will have reached the deadline for submissions, so treat this video as your final reminder, and I'll close the window for submissions 24 hours after release. I'm going to be collating and responding to your thoughts and opinions in the book club video, and I hope that you all enjoy it. Although it is an experiment for me, so feel free to let me know what works and what doesn't when it comes out. I don't have a specific release date yet, but my goal is to release it sometime in late April or early May, depending on how much time out of my daily life I can give to this project. Hope you'll tune in for that when it happens, and thanks for watching.